Fuji versus Sony Part 3, Prime / Street Photography. So this is the 35 2.8 and this is the 23 2.0. So they are more or less equivalent in focal length as well as in depth of field. Of course, this one will be a little bit faster because a lot of people confuse the equivalency with speed. So this is still a 2.0 lens and this is still a 2.8 lens. So the depth of field will be shallower on this one, but it will be projected on a smaller canvas. So it will be equivalent, but the speed of this lens will be 2.0. Or we might even check it. We might try at least. So if I set ISO to 200 on this one, and what the hell is this? And to 200 on this one. So I have like 1/30th of a second here, and here it's 1/25th, 1/20th. So you can see this is a bit slower. I know that there's different methods of counting the ISO, but it's just, you know, rough demonstration. Let's now go to the size. As you can see, you probably will not get that much of a size advantage with the Fuji with the smaller sensor. I mean, if it's even longer when you take the sun hood and cap combination, which is also what is used here. The difference is smaller, but you know, the cameras are no longer built over the sensor, so the camera size isn't really that different in both of them. As you can see, it's just basically the fake prism here, which contains the EVF and the hand grip. What you will get advantage in, however, is the weight. So if I show you just a small scale, yeah, of course, this is 520 grams and this is 690. So as you can see, this is lighter, but you know, on the other hand, you have better handle on this one than actually on this one, which you have to, like, you know. But here you have joystick, here you don't, but then will be a A7 Mark III, which will have a joystick probably. So, you know, it's a matter of preference, really. Let's probably go to the photos, and at the end I will give you the list of which photos were made with which camera, so you yourself can, you know, make a quiz and see which one you like better without any bias. In my opinion, the Fuji is really good. It produces really great quality images. But you know, you can see yourself. So let's hop into the images. Okay, so on the right you have the Sony photo. On the left there's a Fuji. Those are unprocessed RAWs. Let us zoom in. This is the Samyang 35 f2.8 and this is the Fujinon F23. Okay, so if we zoom into 100%, as you can see, there's a little bit, so the Sony is sharper, but there's a little bit of shake on the Fuji, and this is because, of course, it doesn't have the image stabilization. Neither the lens nor the camera has it, so it's 1/80th of a second, and you can see the camera shake, whereas with the Sony it's 1/60th and there's nothing. Okay, so this is probably not a very good example, but you know, just to show you that you have to remember that with the Fuji you're gonna have to use much faster shutter speeds. Other than that, when you look at the photos, there's really not that much of a difference when the image quality is concerned. Okay, so right now the Fuji is on the right and the Sony is on the left, and as you can see, to be honest, for the, you know, just the look of it is better on the Fuji. The colors, this is unprocessed RAW, so I didn't do anything with the files. You know, you have the live colors, the Sony is a little bit flat. Also the Fuji looks sharper. Let me close in on the trees. And this is of course a well lit situation, so we have 1/500th of a second, so you know the camera shake is not a problem anymore. And of course you can shoot with lower actually Sony looks a little bit sharper when you zoom in, just a bit. But then really I think I caught the focus more on the Sony here in the front and on the Fuji on the back, because when you zoom in here the Fuji is really sharp. I would give it to Fuji, really. Let me go to another one in detail, and then we'll go to the photos presentation, and in the end you will see which ones were done with which camera. Okay, so the Fuji's on the right, the Sony's on the left. You see it's a backlit photo. This is exactly the photo where of course the full frame should have an advantage, but as we can see here it's not really there. Yeah, if we zoom in and see, yeah, so as you can see this Fuji is a bit noisier than the Sony, but you know, the base ISO is also 200. I really don't like it. I don't know why they did it, but they did. So probably when we zoom in on the trees, yes, of course, as you can see on the Fuji you have some purple fringing. On the Sony you still don't have any of this, so this is a X-trans problem. You will get this with Fuji, and you know, I don't know, you know, that's just it. So now let's go to the photos. I will show you 14 pairs, I think. I will not tell you which ones are which, and in the end there will be a list so you can see yourself which ones you like more.